Just Comics. Welcome to Just Comics. I'm Seth.
And I'm Steve, and today we're looking at Thundercats Battle of the Planets from 2003, written by Carr Andrews, art by Andrew Ho and Carr Andrews.
And if you have no idea what Thundercats or Battle of the Planets are, where was your childhood?
Mine was definitely on these shows. Ironically, though, since you mentioned childhood, the book actually starts off with a child watching the first Thundercats cartoon.
Two separate children, too.
I
had no idea. I thought it was the same kid.
I did it first, too.
Yeah.
And then I realized that it was different clothing.
Yes.
But I love the art on this. It absolutely encapsulates the cartoon vibe from both series.
Yes. The way this is, it's basically like reading a cartoon instead of reading a comic. This was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the art just looks perfect. Basically, though, I thought it was an interesting crossover. Let's call it an interesting crossover.
Oh, yeah. I mean, lions meets bird people.
And they didn't try to eat the bird people.
Thundercats! Oh!
You are no Larry Kenny. So for those of you who don't know, Larry Kenny was the voice of Lion-O in the original cartoon. Before that, pretty sure I read somewhere he was also the voice of the Cocoa Puffs bird.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That bird?
That one.
Y'all remember cereal ads? Anyone? Comment if you remember cereal ads.
It starts off with a portal that comes out of kind of nowhere. And if you guys already know Thundercats lore, you may already be a little bit ahead on us on where this portal maybe kind of came from. But it does get revealed at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So Lion-O is investigating this portal, and then Mark is investigating it on the other side from a different world.
Yes, now Mark is one of the gforcers. So the official Japanese is gatchaman, but for American audiences, it was changed to gforce.
And Panthro is kind of being a slightly overprotective dad.
Yeah, Panther's being weird.
I mean, as much as this tried to feel like the cartoon, because I'm so familiar with the cartoon, some of the characterizations felt a little off to me, and Panthro was one of them.
Yeah, I don't remember him being that kind of overprotective. Like, Lion-O is the leader, not Panthro.
Right, and they were more encouraging of him, kind of like how Chitara was in this book, but they knew he had to make his own mistakes, and they were there to just kind of help guide. But I feel like they did the Battle of the Planets G-Force people much more in line with their characters. So Mark is going off. He gets kind of sucked into the portal. There's all this sort of distortion and stuff like that. Yeah. So the G-Force people don't know what's going on with Mark, and then the Thundercats don't know what's going on with Lion-O.
Yeah, so Lion-O goes to investigate, and he finds Mark's crashed plane, and finds Mark in it, and he's trying to help him up.
Basically, G-Force is forbidden to go near the portal and let Mark kind of fend for himself.
Yes, because the guy being all sinister, no one is getting near it, seems like a totally upstanding person.
Well, again, we will find some things out as the story goes. The Thundercats are kind of like, we don't care, we're going after Lion-O. And so they kind of jump through the portal first. Now, what I thought was weird is they stopped the story to do commercial breaks for fake things.
Yes, and the poor kid is all out of just sugar cereals.
So, did you catch the He-Man reference here?
No.
Yeah, so the first...
Oh.
What were your feelings on these commercial breaks?
It kind of threw me at first, but I added to it like, oh, right, this is the cartoon. Like, what are these kids? Are they like watcher children? What's going on here? I
kind of wish they didn't stop the story for this. I don't mind them in the beginning and at the end, like kind of bookends the story a bit, but this actually kind of bothered me. So, but then we get back to the story. Lion-O and Mark are waking up.
In chains.
The mutants have gotten some Spectre technology and have captured Lion-O and Mark.
And they took away his sword and took away Mark's watch thingy.
And they are now imprisoning the Herbals. And Slithe is knocking the crap out of everybody.
Of course.
Mark and Lion-O quickly figure out that they're both victims here and they're actually on the same side. Unlike the other Thundercats.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I gotta ask. What do you think of 70s style Thundercats?
Yeah, see, so Panthro somehow picked up 70s Earth slang, and everyone is wearing clothing, which on top of fur must be very uncomfortable.
And right here is that line I was telling you about that references.
Oh, the Lily Maidens, but with more clothing. Wow, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so in the Thundercats lore, there was basically just women that lived in the trees in parts of the jungle, and they were human. So
I find Snarf annoying. I'm just saying. Oh, Snarf, Lino, where are you?
look,
Is that how he sounded?
basically,
Yes.
yeah. No, everybody found Snarf annoying.
Oh, good.
Which is kind of why, like, when they did the reboot in 2012, I want to say it was, Snarf couldn't talk.
Good choice.
Yeah. No, he was basically just kind of a pet to the Thundercats. If you haven't seen that version of Thundercats, it's excellent. It's almost like Thundercats meets Lord of the Rings.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really cool take on the characters. I like the updated animation. Lion-O's voiced by the same guy who did Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond.
Nice.
Don't remember the actor's name, folks. If you do, let us know in the comments. In any case, so the Thundercats are doing some investigation on the world that gforce is from, and then Jason spots Chitara.
Which means that now they know where they are, so they're going to go and try to go get answers to their questions, like, where is Mark and who was that lying guy who kidnapped him?
But the chief is like, no, it's too risky. We can't sacrifice the whole team. We already lost Mark, which almost makes sense.
Almost. If not quite. I mean, if you're trying to rescue your teammate, you want to, rescue your teammate.
Well, what would you do? So let's say I fell through a mysterious portal, Seth.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd go after you immediately. I mean, mysterious portal, that's my jam.
So you would do the Rick and Morty and just like whoop, right through.
Isekai me, Captain. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, what about Adventure Time?
If it's like that, maybe.
I feel the love, let me tell you. Anyway, so
so the chief is being super sus.
And his excuses are getting to be really flimsy on whether or not they should go and try and help Mark. So Princess is basically like, you know what? F*** off. Transmute. I mean,
and the little guy can talk. And in the show, he goes, Princess.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I forgot about that.
Yes.
See, unlike Seth, I did not rewatch any episodes for this video.
I had to because I couldn't figure. I couldn't remember any of this stuff. I was like, it's because man, G-force. And I'm looking at him like, oh, G-force. I don't remember this.
Did you ever see the live action G-force movie?
What? No, there's such thing.
Oh, let me show you.
Oh my god.
So you didn't even know that existed, huh?
I didn't know that existed, and I still wish I did.
Yeah, they kind of lost too much of the bird aesthetic on the characters.
Yes.
I felt like.
Okay, yeah. So they're buddies to Miriam. They got Mark and Lion-O.
But they got a plan.
Yes, they have a plan.
They take a whooping.
Oh, they pretend to fight. It's always do. You pretend to fight each other. Like, hey, I'm tired of your face. I'm tired of your face. You're stupid. You're dumb. I'm gonna get into a fight. And they go, hey man, what are you doing? And you both turn and you sock them at the same time. Only it didn't work because they caught him.
So in your head, how does Slide sound?
You think you can pretend to fight each other as a ruse to escape? Gather close, you weak and small things. Look upon the price of arrogance, of stupidity, cowardice, weakness, insolence, recklessness, defiance, cowardice.
Again.
I already said that. What do you have to say for yourself now, King Lion-O?
Hey, Sly, drop something. And while they're doing all this, G-force and the other Thundercats are fighting each other.
Because someone did something to someone else, and we don't know what.
Well, basically, Jason is a hothead, and he's like that in the cartoon anyway.
Jason.
Yeah, I don't know why they make him second in command. Princess would have been a much better leader at this point.
Yeah.
Even Tiny would be better than Jason, but Tiny's a little not as smart.
Tiny is a little not as smart.
Look, I just read comics. I didn't say I can articulate. Jason being the hothead, he says, just take him down, and then we'll ask questions later. which sounds like a brilliant strategy.
Yeah,
Instead
absolutely.
of just like starting off by like, hey, yo, we saw this happen. Do you know anything about that? And maybe avoid the fight. Or because depending on how they react to that, yeah, you can still fight. Be
Absolutely.
prepared. Anyway, once Lionel gets his sort of moments back, he calls the other Thundercats back through the portal. And so now you have G-Force and the Thundercats taking on Spectre and the mutants. What do you think of this double face spread, Seth?
Yeah, so there's a huge fight scene. There's green guys and non-green guys, and there's just bodies everywhere. It looks like the weirdest orgy I've ever been to. I've never been to. I've never been to an orgy.
So right now, I'm kind of picturing the song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
I was picturing one of those 8 songs. Dun, 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 dun. Ah!
What? Tell me in the comments what song Seth was just singing, I guess. So anyway, yeah, so this is where we get the full reveal of Mumra as the chief. Hey, Spectre goes, oh, Mumra, we betrayed you. I'm going to take that.
This is my favorite part right here.
Okay.
This is hilarious. It's just so dumb.
We have found the most effective way to plunder a planet to pick through what's left. My Spectre agents have planted a small explosive device. Because the exact location within the mines, a small explosion is all we need to trigger a chain reaction to erupt the planet's unique explosive core. G-Force will perish along with whatever forces you control.
Tell me, Zoltar, my ally, is your explosive device small enough to fit into, say, a desk, say, about the size of a shoebox? My mutants intercepted that device days ago. You may want to check on your desk. Goodbye, friend.
How do you know what a shoebox is? Uh-oh.
Boom. So yes, anyway, here we are. We're finally at the end. The real chief has been found. Differences have been put aside.
Mumra was responsible for the portals.
Mama was responsible for the portal.
So, what is your reaction to Jason and Chitara right here?
It just doesn't make sense. Like what the? It came out of nowhere. There's no romantic build-up. It's like, hey, let's just kiss a kiss. It's cringe.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, let me show you how we get along on our planet. And so Tiny gives a little smack to Pantherum, calling him a thunder dog.
Dog! You want a dog! Ah! What the heck is a dog?
And then now the story ends on this one last splash page here. It's the two kids, and they're apparently, this was a cartoon crossover, not a comic book crossover.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense. And one of the kids is a G-Force fan, the other kid's a Thundercats fan. They're like, oh, I like this part, and I like this part. The whole Jason being up in Chitara's litter box thing is mentioned, which, again, cringe.
So the one thing I did like about this part, though, I got to say, like, this is exactly what fans would do.
Absolutely.
Like, you always have these debates of, like, who would win in a fight? Would Batman beat Captain America? Or, can Thor take on the Hulk? And there's always these debates. That's basically what's kind of going on here. It's a much shorter version of that, but that's essentially what's going on. And that did kind of take me back, because I can't tell you how many conversations like this I have had with people.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think the art is fantastic in this, but because the story's a little wonky, I just don't. I wouldn't say this is something that you have to go out and read.
I mean, if you're a fan of Thundercats and you're a fan of G-Force and you're like, hey, I wonder what happened if they, met each other. Sure, go ahead and read this one and then read the other one, which was Battle of the Planets Thundercats, which we may do at some point if you all like this one.
Yeah, so if this video does well and you want us to revisit these characters again, happy to do it, and we'll definitely get some more books, and so we can go ahead and review them for you. And on that note, fans, it's time for us to get out of here. So it is YouTube, so we do need to ask you to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And Seth, what do you have to say to all of our friends out there in YouTube land?
see you next time on Just Comics. Oh, and thanks to my brother for subscribing.
Thank you all for subscribing.
Thank you all for subscribing. All of you. You're all my brothers and sisters.
So, all right.
Cut that.
You guys have a good one.
Bye.